This hope for the future is a hoax. It's a perfect hoax. Maybe we will make spiritual progress. Everybody puts it off. Maybe if I work at yoga for 10 years, 20 years, and do this thing, I will eventually make it. Well, that's nothing more than a postponement. It's this business of, because you're not fully alive now, you will, maybe, someday you will be. Look, supposing I ask you, what did you do yesterday? But most people say, well, let me see. Now, let me get out my notebook. I got up at 7:30 and I brushed my teeth and I read the newspaper over a cup of coffee. And then I looked at the clock and I dressed and I got in the car and I drove downtown and I did this and that in the office and so on. And you go on and on and on. And you suddenly discover that what you've described has absolutely nothing to do with what happened. You've described a scraggly, skeletal, fleshless list of abstractions. Whereas if you were actually aware of what went on, you could never describe it. Because nature is multidimensional. Language is linear. Language is scrawny. And therefore, if you identify the world as it is with the world as described, it's as if you were trying to eat dollar bills and expect a nutritious diet. Or eat numbers. A lot of people eat numbers. People play the stock market. They're doing nothing but eating numbers. And yet they're always unhappy. Absolutely miserable. Because they never get anything. So therefore, they always hope more is coming. Because they believe that if they eat enough dollar bills, eventually, something satisfactory will happen. So eating the abstractions all the time, we want more time. Confucius very wisely said, "A man who understands the Tao in the morning may die with content in the evening." Because when you understand, you don't put your hope in time. Time won't solve a thing. So when we enter into the practice of meditation, of yoga, we are doing something radically unlike other human activities. Of course, the way yoga is sold in the United States, like everything else, is that it's supposed to be good for you. It isn't. It has nothing to do with anything that's good for you. It's the one activity which you do for its own sake. And not because it's good for you, not because it will lead you anywhere, because you cannot go to the place where you are now. Yoga is to be completely here and now. This is the real meaning of concentration, to be in your center. And the Christian word for sinning in Greek translated means to miss the point. And the point is eternal life, which is here and now. So yoga is defined in Sanskrit, the attempt of the mind to catch hold of itself, which is what we call thinking, worrying. So you could say loosely, yoga is the cessation of thinking. It's not the cessation of awareness, but of symbolizing, trying to clutch reality in terms of thoughts, symbols, descriptions, definitions. Give it up. It's not easy because we do it habitually. But until there is silence of the mind, it is almost impossible to understand. Eternal life, that is to say, eternal now. If you could come to the place where you suspend conceptions, it's really very easy. It's too easy, that's why it's difficult. But when you are fully aware and not thinking, you will notice some amazing absences. There is no past. Can you hear anything past? Can you hear anything future? They're just not there.